That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We are here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. You with your tea bag.
I can't tell if the camera's catching me steeping, but, you know.
It's getting the top of your hand doing something, so you just look like you're doing this. Yeah. With your tea bags. How are you?
You want to ride the teacups? Tea bags?
How are you?
It's been a long day. It's been a...
Oh my God, it's always a long day. Are we ever happy?
What does one have to do with
Are we
the
ever in a good mood? We're smiling.
It was a warm one. It was a long one.
It was.
You know,
I mean, it was 69.
You did plenty today. You should know how it feels.
Yeah. Right before recording, I installed our new shower head, and so if I'm glistening, it's the dew of hard work. It wasn't that hard, but I did it anyway.
Did you, in fact, do the do? Do you remember that?
Do the do?
Do the do.
I remember it
being.
I remember it being the slogan.
Just like that that never-ending compilation of compilations that we watched earlier.
Monster ballads.
The Buzz, 36 hits on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
Terrible. What were we thinking back then?
We had nothing to do with it. It was just on TV.
But we are the reason. People like us are the reason why things like that existed.
No, we're not. We were children, okay? They weren't marketing towards us. They were marketing to people with credit cards. And charge accounts.
They were marketing to people whose parents had credit cards.
They were marketing to people who were lawless and ruleless.
We have rules, don't we?
We sure do.
We have 3 rules here in the podcast bubble. For the sake of civility, no judgment, nothing personal, and don't be what?
Don't be what?
Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Don't do it.
Not here, not there, not anywhere. Not in South Central.
No, don't be a dick in South Central. They'll get you for that.
Yeah, there you go. What do you want to talk about?
We started a conversation. I mean, we've started this conversation many, many times. But we started a conversation, and I'm not sure exactly whatever sparked. Do you want to do something with that? You seem preoccupied. Or is it I that's preoccupied with your little piece of fluff?
I'm like a cat that's always batting at a mouse.
At a mouse? A little limp-wristed mouse? Okay, I want to talk about something.
I feel like Robin Williams at the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire.
I want to talk about
no, he
something.
he was a bird.
He was a cat too.
That's right, he did both.
Yes, salutations.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah.
I want to talk about something. Okay, now this is controversial.
Oh my God, is this going to be like that fucking speech the Beastie Boys did at the 1999 VMAs about Woodstock?
Very possibly.
Oh God.
It's possible.
I promise I didn't rape anyone.
No, and that's not exactly what we're going to talk about. But I want to talk about something because it's something that you and I have talked about at length. And it's probably one of our more, dare I say, intellectual debates. And it's not really a debate that you and I have. It's more like us against the world.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring the world in to get their side of it.
You have my attention. I'm curious.
We started talking about this, and I'm not sure exactly what happened to spark the most recent installment of this conversation, because it is a continuation in perpetuity. But we were talking about the idea of...
We're not playing a guessing game. Like, do I have to...
No,
do I get 3 guesses before you tell me what it is?
I want to talk about the idea of liberal fascism.
Oh, one of my favorite subjects.
I want to talk about it because this is one of those...
Pardon me while I go upstairs.
One of those for real hot topics.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. Hot topic is so special. We'll have to talk about that one day.
What, you mean how I was threatened to...
yeah, to never...
Don't ever look at you in any way?
Think about it.
Okay, so the hot topic of liberal fascism.
The hot topic of liberal fascism. And the idea that... How do I say? I'm trying to be diplomatic.
I'm going to try not to cut you off.
Thank you. I'm trying to be diplomatic in my phrasing because I feel like this is going to be taken out of context no matter what.
A lot of things we talk about are going to be taken out of
Yes.
context no matter what.
And this in particular, I think this is going to rock some people.
All right, well, let me start it off by issuing a retraction from the season 3 premiere and saying that I take all of that back and everything that we talked about. No, they're all a bunch of assholes. They fucking suck and they're terrible people.
We're not here to wag a finger at specific
I'm
people.
not wagging a finger. I'm wagging my penis at all of them. Just
I'm not here
spraying like a fire hose.
I am not here to waggle a condescending finger at any particular human persons. Okay? The fact of the matter is that as we discuss this topic, anyone can recognize whether or not they fall under these categories.
As we discuss this topic, real examples are bound
to rear their heads.
Like I have quite a few, lived experiences when it comes to this topic.
We all do.
I'm curious to hear what other people's are.
I think that it's safe to say that everyone experiences this. And it's because it's what I have deemed, and anyone who has listened to this podcast for at least the last year will hear me, this one, say the phrase, the great hypocrisy.
Oh yeah, we've talked about hypocrisy at no shortage of hypocrisy.
When I refer to the great hypocrisy, I'm quite literally speaking of the ideal tenets of what could be considered liberal fascism.
Okay, let's hit me with it.
I'm going to put it into very concise terms.
Okay.
There are quite a number of people out there who want to believe that fascism is, in fact, a construct that defines a far-right political ideology.
I would think that's most people.
That's most people.
That believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's a problem with that, is that the actual tenets of fascism that define it as an ideology, not a political ideology,
but an
ideology in and of itself, is quite literally nothing to do with whether it's far right or not.
Nothing to do with whether it's right or left.
No, it has nothing to do with that. The fact of the matter is that I think that the main tenet that I grasp onto with regards to a conversation like this is the idea of, I don't necessarily want to call it oppression. I'm going to call it suppression.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. It's a silencing of
ideas,
of differing ideas. It's an outright silencing of differing ideas. If you're either with me or against me.
So, funny story is that I weeks or months ago, I decided to dictionary definition it, and it brought up terms like authoritarianism and suppression and,
censorship.
Thank you.
Yep.
Again, it's been a long day, so
No, it's all right.
I'm not going to be quick. So, but then, when we were talking about whether or not we wanted to use this as subject matter, I looked it up again, and the AI definitions completely changed, and it was all it was all using phrases like right wing, conservative, Republican, Nazi.
Now, is that after your Google search history became inundated with celebrity Nazi salute photos?
Because my old band did Nazi salutes?
Because, God. It's one of those context things.
Probably.
But
I think what you're trying to get at is that fascism in and of itself is not exclusive to Nazis among other people.
I mean, that's just it, is that when people today, I'm talking about, you're talking the last decade, literally just the last decade we can take apart. And with everyone throwing, just bandying about with the terms fascists and Nazis and this, that, and the other thing. And no one seems to have
People
any
conflate
idea.
the two.
Yeah, they're conflating more than just the
If you don't know what conflate means, get a fucking dictionary.
And if you don't know what a fascist is, fucking Google it. It's that simple.
No, don't Google it. Get yourself an Encyclopedia Britannica. But go to the library.
That's just it. Is that like fascism has existed. Authoritarianism, totalitarianism
long before the Nazis.
Long before the Nazis existed. And the Nazis are not the only, like, Germany was not the only fascist power in World War II
let's be
alone.
Realistic, because fascism is more, like, for the intents and purposes of this podcast, it's more of an umbrella term that oversees all those other adjectives that we just described. Okay. Yes. Now, if you look at the totality of human history, yes, long before Nazis, long before probably many civilizations, people were employing tenets of fascism.
Yes, of course they were.
So if anybody is going to help me out here, if they're going to pinpoint it on any one group of people or any one person as the sole or like most well-known example of someone who used those tactics, they're probably pretty uneducated.
Well, that's just it. I don't know if I would go so far as to call them uneducated as much as I would go to say narrow-scoped. Because, again, I'm here to be diplomatic because that's my thing. But
why? Okay, as always with most topics, why is this on your mind?
Because after we went on our celebrity Nazi salute, tour of the internet, I got to, we got into a conversation yet again about the ideas of censorship. And censorship specifically with regards to ideas, ideologies, the idea of the thought police being out there and everything like that. And how modern American politics has become the party of, the Democratic Party, and I put it in air quotes because it doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Fight me. It's the party of censorship. It's the reason why so many Democrats, career Democrats, jump ship, because this is not what they want.
Everybody's switched sides. Yeah. Everybody's flip-flopped. In
my phone, I have a saved video clip, a screen cap of a latter episode of Law and Order SVU, where two of the detectives are outside someone's house and they're talking about that, like, words have consequences.
Which two detectives?
It's Carisi and Tutela.
Okay, so I can't ask Stabler about this.
No, no, this was long after Stabler. Okay. And Ice-T says, he's like, so it's free speech until you piss somebody off, then it's hate speech.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And the guy just shrugs, and it's just like, think about that. But actually let that sink in.
It's funny because aside from that being a television show, I've heard a lot of actual, like, real people say that same line.
Yeah, but that's just it. Doesn't that concern anybody?
It concerns a lot of people, actually.
It concerns me.
It concerns quite many people. But see, here's the thing. See, now I feel like I've inadvertently, like, perforated your bubble, so to speak, because
have you?
You have said to me many times, like, I'm not into what you're into. I don't want to hear the news of the day. I don't want to hear about what's going on in politics or in Washington or, whatever. But like I've said in past episodes, eventually some of these things will tend to affect our daily lives and our daily ongoings, and then it can potentially get to a point of it being unavoidable.
Okay.
And that's why I've been so hyper focused on. I'm digging a hole here.
I'm always focused on censorship and freedom of expression, especially when it comes to. I mean, it's been just over a year now when you heard me, podcast listeners, get real mad about censorship. I get real feisty when it comes to anyone suggesting that
you shouldn't say things, or
that you should not say
express
things.
Your feelings.
Exactly. The very idea that words have consequences, that's fine.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Words are just like actions. When you say words, you have created an action.
Mm-hmm.
And your actions have consequences. Now, if I were to say something, let's micro this. If I were to say something to you that you disagree with, you have every right to disagree with me. You even have the right to tell me not to say that anymore. What you can't do is make me stop.
No.
You also can't make me stop thinking it. Period.
Because if I did, then we wouldn't be married for much longer.
And we'd also be on a slippery slope towards Orwellian 1984.
Oh,
okay?
Boy.
But this is it. This is where the hypocrisy comes into play, because you have too many people now saying that it's one side of this argument who wants to control everything. It's like,
are you ready for the real world examples?
Yeah, go ahead, give me.
Okay. Now you know these because you and I talk about this all the time.
Well, tell the people.
But for the listeners, okay, so I have, as I said in the season 3 premiere, I've been in 20 to 30 bands in my lifetime. And when you said to me, you know, oh, that might look like a resume problem, it's actually because of the fact that, you know, sometimes things just don't work out. Sometimes, like, you know, but sometimes there are situations like what I'm about to describe where I need to remove myself because of the fact, like, part of the reason why I don't give all my thoughts and opinions on things is because I know how certain people, particularly in bands I've been in, are going to react. I'm tired of being talked over. I'm tired of being cut off. I'm tired of being told that I'm wrong or stupid, or that, you know, I know you guys disagree, but I've been gaslit so much by so many people in the music and the art, you know, scenes, because I hold a lot of unpopular opinions, at least in those circles.
To imply that someone is unintelligent or misinformed because they have what you consider an unpopular opinion is it's incredible to me.
So I have, upon my exits from the last 2 groups I was in, likened the head honchos, so to speak, the ones who are, you know, have the final say in everything, despite it being, you know, a group effort and, you know, everyone's got a fair say and, you know, we're all doing this together. Despite that, the person who initially started the group is always, you know, the one who has the final say and the one in charge.
Yeah.
And I have said to their faces, you know, you're acting like a fascist, to which they were none too pleased about.
No, because in their narrow scope, you are implying that they are somehow a radical right wing, you know, statist, what blah blah
now,
blah and everything, and it's like, and that's what they're objecting to.
Let me clarify. I didn't call them Nazis.
No.
I didn't call them right-wingers or conservatives. I didn't call them MAGA or whatever they may liken it to. Like, here's the thing. My father was an authoritarian most of my upbringing, okay? Very strict, very no-nonsense. Very,
my way or the highway.
You get out of line and you're getting the belt, you're getting the ring hand, you're getting the hot sauce, like, you know. And did that make him a Nazi? Absolutely not.
No.
Did that make him a fascist? I mean, he was very authoritarian, but I wouldn't consider him a fascist.
He didn't. Did he suppress your expression? Did he suppress your freedom of expression?
No.
Ta-da.
No. He didn't.
He disagreed with it.
Yeah, he definitely disagreed with it, but he did nothing to suppress it. He just didn't. He didn't jive with my interests the same way I didn't necessarily jive with his.
And that's fine.
And we understood each other and we accepted it.
But live and let live.
Which is what we did.
Ta-da!
Because it got to a point in my life where I got tired of hiding who I was and what I felt from him for fear of how he would react. And there were days, I mean, you've seen them, where I've just flat out told him, I'm just like, you either need to accept me for who I am and what I'm trying to do with my life, or we're just not going to be in each other's lives.
And that's what it comes down to also in these situations, is that, you know, people want, okay, how do I do this diplomatically?
Honestly, I think he respected me more for having the guts to stand up to him, because
Maybe.
I don't, because I feel a similar sense of this, because I don't think he wanted to leave this world thinking that his kids wouldn't be able to take care of themselves or hold their own. I know I certainly don't want to leave this world knowing that my kids aren't going to be able to take care of themselves. But eventually, I knew that if I didn't get to that point, then, things were going to be left unfinished.
Too many people argue today that the problem is that we have hateful opinions. And it's like, okay, that's the problem. The problem is that you find someone else's opinions or beliefs or ideas hateful. Ergo, we need to speak up and we need to suppress those hateful ideas. We need to make it so that hateful ideas, hateful speech, hateful, whatever and everything, that those people who believe those things are not allowed to express them.
Well, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to the season premiere again, because this is the most recent, freshest, example to base all of this off of.
Okay.
And in that episode, we talked about how I likened what these people were saying and doing to intolerant, authoritarian like ideas and words and actions and whatnot. And I never used hate. I never took any low blows. I never, attacked them personally. I never got snarky. I never was rude.
Okay.
But they did all of those things to me, which was completely uncalled for. And it only furthered my point, and my head's all over the place right now. No, I'm trying to stay on point, but I'm so focused on that because, again, it's fresh in my mind. You were talking about hate speech.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is where I was going to go with that. In that episode, you also were trying to say that, you're not the intolerant one. Okay. You're not what everybody makes you out to be. Despite being, all these things in your politics and your beliefs and whatnot, you're not the intolerant one. And to that credit, there have been so many times where, despite disagreeing with people, friends, bandmates, whatever, I have bit my tongue.
Yep.
And I have allowed people to have their way without any sort of resistance from me, because as a rational-minded human being, I can be okay with not always having my ideas, be taken or having my voice be heard.
Yeah.
I have very seldom met other people who are that willing to allow for ideas that aren't their own.
I agree. And now that you have introduced intolerance a half a step ahead of me, I was this close.
I'm sorry.
I know, but now that we've brought it up, this is the crux. This is the rub, as Shakespeare would say. This is the rub.
Audio can't see this.
All right. Is this idea of intolerance, this preaching of intolerance, because that's what's happening all over the place now. And it's a fucking mess, in my humble opinion. Okay? Because you have group A saying, you are intolerant, group B, and we won't tolerate it. And then you have people like me who are like, what? This coexist, hippy dippy, love is love, all are welcome is bullshit. That's a fact. I'm going to go so far as to say 88% of the people who preach such a thing are complete bullshit artists. Okay? Because none of those people actually believe in the idea of all-inclusive, all are welcome, because
not.
it is you either
you're either with me or against
you're
me.
either with me or against me. There is no I disagree with you, but you and I have dissimilar core beliefs on certain levels,
now,
and yet we got married.
What do you think that's a symptom of? When you talk about the people who say one thing but feel or think or do another, what do you think led to that?
Are you asking where I think the hypocrisy comes from? Or
no, because I think we can all agree that when it comes to hypocrisy, everybody wants what they want, and
yes.
most people are unwilling to bend when it comes to what they want if they can get away with it. But it's like, when you're saying that there are people out there, because we both have experienced it, when people are preaching all inclusivity, all tolerance, all groups, of course, except for the ones with the unpopular opinions,
except for the ones you disagree with.
When do you think that started? Where do you think it came from? Why do you think it still breeds? Like what
mob mentality.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if anyone out there actually has the balls to think for themselves, they break away from the flock. And then you're allowed
Which
to
is exactly what I did.
Which is what I've done.
You've done way more than me. And you've seemingly had a much easier time doing it than I've done.
I have had and I'm gonna say something. I have done a lot of work with regards to self-awareness and a worry-free life, and I have studied certain ideologies to sort of help me with that. And it really does go to the core of what do you actually want to be worried about in your life? And my answer was, I really don't want to worry about anything. So now it's, how do I achieve that goal? And I achieve it by truly letting go of ego,
which you have instructed me to do quite a bit.
It takes a lot of practice.
It certainly does.
It takes a lot of practice, but that's just it. Is that if you excuse me, if
you have a cough button,
if you
that doesn't mean you have to use it. God, you're more like the boy than you know. We'll be right back.
The way that it works is that if you care even an iota about how you are perceived by other people, okay? Now, wanting to be liked is different. I'm saying if you care how you are perceived as a human being, you will mask to achieve a warm reception of yourself. And I, somewhere in my late 20s, said, well, fuck that.
See, it was insisted upon for us growing up, because our parents always told us that when you leave this house, you are a representation of us. So if you go out wearing ripped jeans, people are either going to think that, we're poor and we can't afford good clothes, or that we didn't raise you right with the right lessons or morals or whatever. Like,
see, now, so not to interrupt, but so was I. But now that I have done the work on self-awareness, my brain goes to, so what?
Yeah, no, now...
Like, now, it's like, even if that's true, even if I step out of this house as an adult, as me, right here, okay? I walk out wearing a t-shirt that says trash, okay? Half cut, jeans with holes in them and stuff like that and everything. What if somebody says, like, that's, somebody married her? It's like,
like when when the old man started wearing jeans to church, I'm just like, finally he gets it.
Yeah, and now
what?
You point out that people,
I know, but it's after almost 40 years of that being drilled into my head. But the thing is that, like, it's part of the reason why I keep sending you this podcast that I listen to, and it's very seldom, but it's when it really strikes a chord or strikes a nerve, because, like, today they were talking about how, like you said, you have to get yourself to a point of just not caring if people say something bad or wrong or mean or incorrect or whatever it is. because, you know, over in my adult life, I have made strides, as I'm sure you have, to better myself beyond all of the, not harness, but like the shackles that people can't, you know, just so easily or readily seem to get away from. Like, it was a big fucking challenge quitting smoking.
Sure.
And then kind of just by, you know, default or associate, like I stopped drinking just because I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And I stopped going certain places, and I stopped associating with certain people, and I got myself, you know, it's like I always talk about, like with the guns, you know, like when in gun training, they always tell us, like, if you don't want to have to be in a self-defense situation, you don't put yourself, you don't allow yourself to be in those situations. And it's the same thing with people. It's like, if I don't want to be in a place where I know I'm going to be gaslit, where I know that people are going to fucking antagonize me or argue with me just because it, you know, they get a rise out of it, I'm going to not put myself in those situations. Because I know what leads, I know exactly how those situations start, and I know exactly how they end.
I have said, and I believe this in my guts, that a truly peaceful life, a truly free life, is very isolating. It's
sure
very
is. Yeah.
isolating. And you have to choose to be okay with that. It's not something that you're just like, oh, well, I guess I'll just get used to it. It's like, no, because you don't have to. It's a choice. And I chose a long time ago to be comfortable with that. And the few people that are still very close to me, are still a part of my life, understand the same thing. They understand now, whether we have agreeable opinions about things and everything is a moot point. It doesn't factor in because we do not allow those things to influence our opinion of other people.
No.
That's how it works to be tolerant. Tolerance is quite literally being fine with people who disagree with you. Get it? Like, this is what I don't understand. When people are out there yelling and screaming about how certain people are so intolerant, it's like, no.
You know, it's funny, sorry, but the people that I agree with the most, I see the least.
Yes.
Because the people I agree with the most are doing exactly the same thing that we're doing. They are self-sufficient. They have established their routines and their lives and their happiness, and they have made it so that, you know, if they don't want to go out, they don't have to. If they don't want to see certain people, they don't have to. I spent way too much time surrounding myself with people who refuse. They absolutely, because they are so comfortable and so set in their ways and so okay with complaining about the hand that they've been dealt in life and blaming it on everything but themselves, that they just project that onto everybody.
Yeah.
And they have no interest in furthering or advancing anything. So, like, for in many scenarios in my life with people like this, I've been like, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Why don't you, this will help you. This will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Drawing from personal experience. And I'm usually met with criticism or apathy or whatever. And that's the main reason why I sent you that episode today, was because they were talking about these people are just fucking stuck and they're okay with it. Like, they're never going to do anything with their lives. They were just going to drift like lumps of crap through life, being miserable, blaming everybody but themselves. Because, again, I made it a priority a long time ago to become self-sufficient, to rely on nobody but myself. Okay, to make sure that I didn't have to rely on anybody. And like they were saying, like these people, this podcast I listened to was saying, if people are going to criticize you for that, that's their own problem. That's their own insecurity.
Exactly. And that translates to literally all facets of someone's personality. If they have a problem with it, that's on them. It is not your responsibility to make other people comfortable with you.
No.
It's not. Just realize that one thing. That is the first step to realizing, to really recognizing these different levels of self-awareness, because you will start to realize that you are forfeiting so much of your energy and your personal power to really buzz it up. You are forfeiting these things to other people. You are allowing them to control what you do. And if they have their way, it seems they will also control what you think, what you do, what you say, how you act, where you go, and who you go with. And then they'll stand there and tell you that it's your fault because you don't believe in certain things.
The first time I ever heard this saying, my cousin posted it many years ago on Facebook. It was, holding a grudge is like letting somebody live inside your head rent-free. Now, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that I don't hold grudge. Like I have held grudges. I'm mad at certain people for certain things that they've said, that they've done, but I have effectively removed all communication because I know what being involved with them is going to do to me, and they don't deserve that. They absolutely do not deserve. I am very, very good at removing myself from bad situations, because what is the point? Like you said, in allowing them to control your actions, your thoughts, and they may not even be thinking of it like that, but they're inadvertently granted that access.
I think the most dangerous thing that people do to each other with regards to their own personal intolerances is they make you doubt whether or not you're okay with something. Is they make you doubt your own beliefs. It's like, if you say, I don't believe in the Easter Bunny. Never did. It's a big sham. And they stand there and they're just like, how can you say that it's not true when you don't know that it's not true? And they dig at you and they just pick at you just little by little and just chip away at you until finally you have to say, well, okay, so maybe it could possibly maybe in some world be true. So it's like your belief is discounted altogether, all because they couldn't let you have that.
Like, for those who don't know, okay, our protests on the green are not exclusive to like the national, No King's Days that swarm across all Connecticut towns.
Oh no, it's like anyone with a complaint just sits out there.
We have the same band of merry retards hanging out on East Street every Saturday with their signs and their bullhorns and sticking their phones in people's faces and shit. And some are, pro-abortion, some are anti-Trump, some are pro-Palestine.
Some are complaining about taxes, some are gas prices. I think someone complained about milk at some point. It's literally it's a gathering of complainants.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. And it's not a protest because it's not protesting anything.
All they're doing is distracting drivers going up and down East Street. That's all they're doing.
That's all it is.
But the thing is that, the unifying, the almost kind of unifying theme is they all hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're all accusing him of being a fascist and a Nazi and a misogynist and a racist.
We got to keep going.
And a pedophile.
Yep. And a rapist.
Yep. Where's your evidence?
But
where is your proof? Now, okay, I am not saying this as a Trump supporter. I am saying this as a logical, rational-minded, reasonable human being. Where is your fucking evidence? Where is your proof beyond a reasonable doubt to back up, to substantiate your claims? Because if you don't have that, you're full of shit.
Well, it's like suggesting that a single human being could be responsible for, I don't know, the glaciers melting. It's like, and why do you say that? It's like, where is your proof that it's this one person's fault?
Because funny enough, despite what people's perception of me may be, I originally wasn't for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that's something that my father and I argued about prior to the election. I remember when Trump first announced his candidacy, I'm like, there's no way.
I thought it was a joke.
I
like, genuinely,
there is no way my parents are going to go for this. There's just no way. And I had a different candidate in mind, but as we all know what happened, but that was a point of contention between Dad and I. But we respectfully disagreed with each other. I'm like, I think this person's going to do a better job than Trump. I don't want to see 2017 to 2020 happen all over again.
Right.
And at that point, he was, on the bandwagon because set in his ways.
I really truly hate that, it's political ideologies that always make it to the forefront of conversations like this. Not that, I don't want to talk about politics. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I hate that that's a thing, because when we were in our 20s, I don't remember a single human being giving even a minute flying frog's ass who I voted for. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. It was one of those things. It's like it's election day. Oh, I forgot. I have to go vote. They don't ask you, well, who are you voting for? And if you're doing you're doing it wrong, and blah, blah, blah.
So we can't sit here and say that Trump was the first celebrity, was the first, notable person to hold the office. Ronald Reagan.
Ronnie Reagan, baby.
I'm pretty sure the presidency made JFK a celebrity.
Well, TV did that.
That too.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. What is your take on the theory that it was the media that did all the hyping of this, that propelled Trump and his celebrity into the stratosphere in regards to politics, and boosted the ideas that, this man is a monster and he needs to be stopped?
Okay, so here...
What do you think the press's role in that is?
I'm going to say the press... I'm going to go so far as to say the press is not as responsible as I think people want the press to be.
Well, we've said that on here before.
Okay, the press is the defense is wrong. The press is not the press anymore.
No, it's not.
The press is now the media. And the media is more to blame in as far as media headlines are now the same thing as social media posts, as tweets.
Right.
It's all about the headlines. No one gives a fuck about the articles.
It's all about what generates profit.
But, okay, that to me is a different argument altogether. That is not what my answer to your question is.
Okay. I think we can tie the two together, but that's later.
What it comes down to is that right now, in this day and age, the fact of the matter is that globally, we exist, first world nations at least, exist in a climate where you need your attention grabbed in the first 3 seconds. In the span it takes to read a headline, period. In the time it takes to tweet. That's it. Okay? That is all the attention span people have. I check our stats just to bring it into the realm of our little world here.
I know where this is going.
I check our stats. Do you know what the average watch time for our clips are? 8 seconds.
8 seconds on the teasers.
8 seconds on the teasers. People watch an average of 8 seconds.
Before they swipe to
the next thing. This is the problem, is we have created a climate where there is no attention span anymore.
We need to be a lot more entertaining.
No, it's not to do with that. We're plenty entertaining. Look at us. But
I'm sweaty and gross from a long day of work. Like, give me some pep pills. I'll be fresh as a fucking daisy.
But do I believe that it's the media's... Do I believe that it's like a creation of the media? No. I believe that the media plays a quintessential role in the fact that we have no attention span anymore. So fact-finding, fact-checking, all of these things will not be done. They will not be done. When people even do a Google fact check, okay? They want to Google. Someone says some celebrity died, right?
Yeah. They want the fastest
answer.
You
immediately go to Google. You Google in the name of the person and you say, dead. Search. You look at the news headlines that pop up under the AI and everything, and if you don't see a reputable source that says, yes, this person is dead, it's a hoax.
Okay.
Okay? But that's just it. They won't scroll through. They won't read the articles and everything like that. They want it immediately. It's an instant gratification.
So here's a question we haven't brought up yet, because we've talked about this on the podcast many times. What is the incentive to expand people's attention span? What is the incentive? We can sit here all day long and tell people you need to, do more research, you need to read more, you need to watch longer, you need to, go to reputable sources. But what is the incentive? What do you think will compel a person to actually go the extra mile?
I truly don't know. My hope is that eventually this bubble that we are in, not this bubble, this is a good bubble, the podcast bubble that we exist in. This bubble that we exist in right now, where everything is, the first 3 seconds, I call, quote unquote, the first 3 seconds, because that's how long you have to grab someone's attention at this point. I don't know if it will be the popping of the social media bubble, maybe. I don't know if it will be the sort of petering out of all of the unrest that is being perpetuated, because the fact of the matter is that it's already petering out. It doesn't seem like it, because all we hear about is violence. It's not the only thing happening, but it's all we hear about.
I think I said to you at some point in the last week, I go, we're going through our third world war right now. Like, it's not nobody's like coined it or anything like that, but between everything that's going on all over the country, all over the world, like this, or the Civil War, whatever, everything that everyone's afraid of, gearing up for, is happening right now, and we just we're not realizing it.
Well, the reason why it's happening is because too many people are too vocal, dare I say, about intolerance, about being intolerant. And it is the great hypocrisy that they refuse to own their intolerance. It is either you accept all of us for who we are,
or we're gonna take you down,
or we're gonna have to put you out of business. And it's like, okay, but what about the great masses of people who actually really do believe in live and let live? They just don't subscribe to your ideologies.
Now, we
can't let them live though.
Let me get back to what I was hinting towards.
Go for it.
Everything's profit driven. If there isn't money to be made, or if there isn't something to invest in, or if there isn't, an incentive, a financial incentive, people are not going to be inclined to, like, okay, perfect example is every single time a band I've been in has played a big show, and we've done everything that we can, putting up posts, handing out flyers, asking all of our friends and family and whatever, please come support us, come do it. It's like, honestly, if we had something worth seeing, people would fucking flock to it. But here's the thing. If there's nothing in it, if there's something, if there's not something to be gotten from it, why is anybody going to waste their money? Why is anybody going to waste their time?
I'm not going to poo-poo that theory, okay? I do agree with you to a degree. And the fact is that you cannot deny that all of this unrest has sparked merch sales. Like, that's just it. Are there not t-shirts, bumper stickers, yard signs, flags, all of these things that you can pay a premium for to demonstrate to the rest of the planet that you believe what you are told you're supposed to believe?
Listen, I said this the entire time that Biden was in office, because everybody was always saying, we can't have Trump back, racist, misogynist, homophobe, all this other stuff. We can't have him. He's going to bring about World War III and the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. And all I could think throughout the 4 years Biden was in was, what are you so afraid of? 2017 to 2020 was not the end of the world,
No.
and that was plenty of, you know, outrage for all the punk bands, certainly in the circles I was around, to complain and stand on their podiums and write songs and chant and this and that and the other thing before the protest, the No Kings protest that we're seeing now. And so as Biden was leaving, I'm just like, what are you so worried about? You are going to have so many financial opportunities. And they're all missed opportunities because every fucking Democratic liberal musician, if they're not jumping on those opportunities, then they're fucking stupid.
I have to say, okay, now because it is so relevant, right? That, you know, we have to hate on Donald Trump. We
don't have to.
Well, no, nobody has to, but most people do. I'm not saying we, I'm saying they. Right? The world must hate on Donald Trump. He's blah, 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 and everything. Okay. Here's the thing, though, is that, you know, I'm sorry, I can't. But does no one out there remember That's My Bush? Like, seriously, like, when we were experiencing the George W. years, we had so much to make fun of that there was literally a fucking sitcom about how stupid he was. And it was fucking funny. and you know what he didn't do? Pitch a hissy fit and say, well, we can't do that. We can't do that. So it's like, you know, what about all of the SNL sketches and everything?
Now you have
everybody. What about all of the times that people made fun of Clinton?
You have liberals yearning for those W years because he was nothing like Trump.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that if we were if these people were of this mindset in 2004, I think that it would be a whole different ballgame.
Listen, you just said that everybody has an 8-second attention span. They're not going to be able to remember 2004.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Google it. Just Google 2004 and see what happens.
You thought we wouldn't have any fun today. Shame on you.
Oh, God. It's, you know, I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back around before we run out of time here today.
Before I fall asleep.
I want to bring it back around before we run out of time here today, because the fact of the matter is that you and I are sitting here on
surprise fascist
on what is essentially you know, our own little soapbox without being a soapbox, because we're not here to preach.
No.
We don't preach, okay? Because the fact of the matter is that we don't give a shit what you believe in.
No.
We don't care if you care what we believe in, okay? Because
just don't be a hypocrite.
That's just it.
And
if you are determined to be a hypocrite, at least own your hypocrisy.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never been a hypocrite.
No, everybody has.
Everybody is a hypocrite. But the degree to which you are,
yeah,
that is what will shape people's opinions of you.
But do not stand out on your street corner preaching all are welcome when you are lying. Don't do that.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Just don't lie.
Because it is a lie. When you say all are welcome, but, then stop saying all. Like, that's just it. Is that if you say all are welcome, then mean all are welcome, including the people who you disagree with, including the people that you find their opinions so detestable that you would rather move somewhere else than be surrounded by someone like that. It's like, okay, but you don't need to preach that they need to be wiped off the face of the earth. You don't need to do that. That's despicable to me. That is beyond hypocrisy into...
That's reprehensible.
That's reprehensible, truly. Okay? If you believe that all people are valid, all beliefs are valid, then actually believe it and accept people who disagree with you.
Walk it like you talk it.
Seriously. And this is what it is. There's a book... What is his name? I don't remember the name of the author. I believe it might be Andy South. I don't remember the name of the author. It might be. And I apologize for anybody who knows and everything.
I'm
but
Andy.
it's on my to read list.
I'm Andy Downs.
But it is a book called Liberal Fascism. It is in fact called Liberal Fascism. And it sparked my interest. There are several books of essays and collections and stuff like that on the subject. But this one in particular caught me because reading about it, it was talking about the I'm losing it a little bit. The idea of, sort of this idea of, tolerance being, it's intolerance masking as, other things. It's masking as acceptance. It's masking as protest. It's masking as all of these things and everything. And the fact of the matter is that it is in fact intolerance. And the farther we allow it to penetrate into everyday conversation, the more we allow it and the less we call it out as a hypocrisy, whatever,
a hypocrisy,
the less we call it out for what it actually is, the closer we do get to the thought police. And that is the horror show that most liberals are preaching that we should be terrified of. But the fact of the matter is they are actually the ones purporting the establishment thereof.
They certainly are.
And it's again, this is one of those hot topics where it's gonna get people angry, and it is what it is.
If any of them were sitting here right now, they'd look at you and be like, "Yeah, but," or "No, you're wrong. Let me explain." And it's just like, listen, I can only speak to my own real world experience, my own lived experiences. And, it's fresh, it's relevant, it's and the fact of the matter is I have made so many concessions for so many people over so many years in the music spaces because I have largely only ever played with close friends. Okay. And I've always just wanted to play with friends because I love playing music. And if I'm going to do it with anybody, I might as well do it with people I'm close with or grew up with or whatever. But ultimately, once I decide to put my foot down, it's like, okay, I can't stay quiet anymore. I can't, stifle my opinions or my ideas because I can't allow myself to just concede to your every whim.
And you shouldn't have to.
But as soon as I stand up for myself, then that's a cause for concern. That's a problem. It's a red flag. It's wait, whoa, where is this coming from? It's just like, well, I have a different opinion. And, if you're really all you say that you are, you allow my voice to be heard and validated.
I say this a lot, by the way. Andy Brown is the name of the author. I just looked it up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, I was listening to you.
Audio will none the wiser.
But it's the same thing that I always bring up with regards to religion, not just politics. Okay, let's take it into another field real quick. But the idea of religion, you do not see, as much as people want to disagree with this point, you do not see faithful people, devoted people to whatever faith they are devoted to. They are not in perpetuity what happened?
Continue.
They're not preaching in perpetuity that, God exists. Why don't you believe this? It's true. It's a fact, blah, blah, blah. But an atheist will look at a devoted person and say, God's not real. And it's like, can you prove it? And they're just like, can you prove that he is? And it's like, no, that's what faith is about, idiot. And it's just like, you don't see it go both ways. You don't see this clawing at you must understand why I believe this. It's like, no, I don't.
As my Jewish cousin texts me.
Hi. But that's just it, is you don't see that going both ways. The same way as, just because, let's say somebody doesn't believe in abortion. They don't agree with abortion. To disbelieve abortion is to say it's like the boogeyman, it doesn't exist. Or rights. But it's like you can disagree with something, you can be against something morally, ideologically, whatever and everything. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot disagree that such a thing exists and that someone may or may not be in favor of such a thing. Same thing with God.
My only grievance on this subject is when people start jumping down your throat, you know, purporting that your belief is wrong just because they say so.
And I will never be okay with anyone who says someone's beliefs are wrong.
You know, like,
it's like, no, a personal belief cannot be wrong.
I don't care if you're on the right or the left.
It doesn't matter.
If you're going to act like that, that's being fascist.
Yes. Because you can't say that. That's like saying that someone's opinion is wrong.
Or if you're actively preventing somebody or you know, you're influencing them to do or to not do things or to say or not say things, you know, just because you don't like what their opinion is or how they feel, that's fascism.
And to silence them is true fascism. To work the system so that people who disagree with you are suppressed is fascism.
Now,
censorship is step one.
I'm sorry if that hurts your sensibilities to hear that.
I'm gonna grow up.
Thank you.
This was a good talk.
It's one of those ones that could go on.
And it will, no doubt, go on.
But I'll tell you, I feel so much better that I've removed myself from the people that would get me agitated, that would get me heated over something like this, because I don't ever have to listen to their dumb opinions anymore.
But that's just it, is that's what you learn when you experience a situation like this, is that you should not be expending your energy to silence someone whose opinion is different from yours, because the only thing you can control is your behavior. Like, you cannot control another human being.
To clarify,
so you remove yourself from that situation, and boom, peace of mind.
Never, in all the years that I've known the people that I am describing, I have never said they were wrong for feeling what they feel or believing what they believe or saying what they say or doing what they do. I have never said that they couldn't or shouldn't or wouldn't. Like, I have just said, I believe this, I like this, I do this, I say this. That's it.
And even more human or humane or whichever.
Take me or leave me.
You are not actively trying to change anyone's mind. Are you?
Okay, so most of these people, I took them to the range for their first times.
Okay.
Let's just say I'm glad that there's not guns in their hands now. Especially when they tell me they might kill themselves.
Well, that's a different story for a different day. But this was a good talk. It was. Thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in and sticking it out with us. Hopefully you did. 8 seconds. You know, just if you listen to 8 seconds at a time, eventually you will hear the whole episode. So tell all your friends. It's only an hour. Like church. Thank you. Yes, find us on social media. We're on Instagram, TT Andy and JJ. DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. You can also email us, dtandyanjjstar@gmail.com, with questions, comments, concerns for our well-beings, conversation starters and enders. If you have comments about this one, be kind.
Rewind.
And let us know if you'd like to be a part of the conversation. You know, and we will we'll set some shit up.
We'll be happy to debate any of you fascists out there.
Any day, anytime. I ain't scared no ghost. Love Hard Art and Coat of Arms Tattoo are both on Instagram. Love Hard Art is getting ready for the Nashville Tattoo Convention, the Villain Arts Tattoo Convention in Nashville, Tennessee, August 14th, 15th, and 16th. We will be there with bells on, maybe bells. Who knows?
So I don't have anything to plug, but I will say this.
What do you got?
I have been asked to audition for three groups. It's kind of nice.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, haven't done any of it yet, but, you know, just being asked is...
Just being nominated. It's an honor just being nominated.
I would really like to know that I could get the job.
Get the jobby. What else we got going on? I think that's kind of it for now. We don't have a whole lot. Download Podbean. Give us a like and follow on Podbean. Give us your money. And You can find all of our episodes. I lost my shoe. You can find all of our episodes, audio episodes, streaming at ttppodcast.com. Tell all your friends. You can find all of our You can find all of our videos streaming at dtandy and jjstar.com. You want to talk about it?
No, you said you lost your shoe.
That's your shoe.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdo. I'm going to call it. That's a full lid. We're going to put you to bed now.
Yay!
From the three of us here at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
And we'll talk to you later.